Right now, a retail giant has its sights on a new distribution center in Cottage Grove, what it could mean for the community.
Plus, outrage in Minnesota after a deadly police shooting of a young black man during a no-knock warrant, what the body camera video shows.
And former Vice President Mike Pence speaks out on statements made by former President Trump about overturning the election. That's all coming up on News 3 Now at 10. The world's largest retailer could be coming to Cottage Grove, and along with it, more jobs for the surrounding communities. This map here shows where Amazon's newest distribution center will be, a 3.4 million square foot facility just off of Highway TT.
Amazon says it's putting $200 million into this project. That also includes about 1,500 jobs for workers in the area. But as Tahlil Mahadeen found, some people aren't ready to give out the warm welcome just yet.
This could be one of the largest Amazon warehouse facilities in the country, and while it's got some village leaders excited about the economic development opportunities, those living closest to the proposed site aren't convinced the cost outweighs the benefits. In the village of Cottage Grove, a $200 million proposal originally known as Project Silver Eagle.
We really do believe that this proposal is in line with the village's comprehensive plan and growth goals.
Getting the initial go-ahead from the village board.
All those in favor then?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Anybody abstain? Motion carries.
It's a plan to build a 3.4 million square foot Amazon facility, one that would run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Receiving pushback from people living in the neighborhood.
I think it's more that they just don't want it in their backyard.
Worried how the massive building might affect their property values.
Just all of the traffic and probably the light too that'll be coming from it, and the noise, I would say.
For many, their number one concern is around the increase in traffic Amazon would bring. But Cottage Grove's village engineer says their roads can handle it.
At first, everybody thinks that's a lot of vehicles at this site. But realistically, when the developer that had it prior to this came forward with maybe making this more of a commercial and more developed site than what it is proposed to be now, it was 3+ times that much traffic.
Yeah, for some, it's about a changing landscape, hitting too close to home.
It's kind of making my parents want to move, to be honest. They're going to miss the quiet around here.
The facility's developer has invited people in the area to a virtual neighborhood meeting Monday afternoon to discuss and learn more about the proposal. Cottage Grove's Village Plan Commission has plans to review project updates within the next 2 weeks.
Tahlil, thank you. A Belleville man lucky to be alive after a semi crashed through his house this morning. Daniel Covarrubias says he was just waiting inside his family room while his car was warming up outside when all of a sudden he heard a loud bang, and that loud noise ended up being a semi-truck which somehow went off the road and barreled right into Daniel's home. He says that truck missed hitting him by about 6 feet. Somehow, none of the 3 people in the home at the time were hit by the truck. One person inside was treated for other injuries but should be okay. The truck driver should recover as well. Daniel himself, well, he's still in shock.
It's crazy. I mean, a lot of emotions are going on, you know. You try to actually, you know, think of what happened at once. But, you know, we got our friends and family and that are all in it, so I thank them that they're all here to help us out.
The Belleville Fire Department says it took them 3.5 hours to remove the semi from the home. As for the home itself, Daniel says the kitchen is destroyed along with some parts of the family room. Expect frigid wind chills at the start of your weekend. Let's check in with meteorologist Dana Fulton, your certified most accurate forecasts.
Frigid wind chills on the way and a little fresh dusting of snow coming through this afternoon. As we look at our Doppler track, much of that is out of the area. We had some light flurries just in the last few hours hanging out towards Milwaukee, but southern Wisconsin now dry and clearing up. Our mostly cloudy sky becoming partly cloudy for us overnight. Some folks got close to about 1/4 of an inch, or about 1/10 of an inch. Others just a little less than that. Right now, we're already down to 6 with that clearing sky. Temperatures expected to drop quite a bit tonight, and wind chills already below 0. Across southern Wisconsin, we're really sitting in the low single digits. This is a few degrees warmer than where we were at this time yesterday. That's also going to be the trend for our overnight lows, expecting that to be just a few degrees higher than where we are at to start off this morning. That doesn't make it any better outside, though. Temperatures will still drop just to 0 or a little bit below for Saturday morning. The good news, Saturday afternoon will come along with some sunshine and high temperatures climbing a little closer to 20 for us in the afternoon. But we'll take a closer look at how long that warm trend sticks with us in just a few minutes.
Dana, thank you. A 17-year-old is being being charged in connection with a fight at La Follette High School last month. Tayshawn Ross is charged with 1 count of substantial battery for his alleged involvement in the fight. Authorities say the fight broke out after Ross and the other students were allegedly talking about the victim, prompting him to confront them. A witness later told police Ross and the others were not talking about the victim. Ross's next court appearance is scheduled for April the 11th.
The Madison man charged with killing his sister is being found not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect. 59-year-old Joseph Green had originally been charged with first-degree intentional homicide. This is related to the death of 63-year-old Sheila Green. According to a criminal complaint, Green shot his sister and then went back to his apartment, threw the gun in the trash, called 911. Now today, court records show he entered a plea of not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect to a second-degree intentional homicide charge. Sentencing has been set for February 28th. A plea hearing scheduled next week for the man accused of killing a Navy veteran. Riley Berg, accused of killing Nicholas Day while he was jogging back in 2020. Berg's trial has been delayed multiple times due to competency hearings and rescheduling. He was initially found incompetent to stand trial in April of 2020 before being deemed competent after treatment in October that same year. Berg's father told investigators his son has been treated for schizophrenia and was hospitalized for it back in 2017. Berg's hearing is set for Monday.
Milwaukee police say a 34-year-old has turned himself in after a fight on social media led to shooting outside a high school. This happened Tuesday night when a fight broke out between 2 people. A group gathered to watch when police say a man fired a gun. 5 people were shot, and police are still investigating whether any of the victims shot were involved in this initial fight. And in the wake of that shooting, students from Rufus King High School held a walkout protesting gun violence. Students say they will continue doing what they can to keep each other and the community safe.
It doesn't matter if you are a Washington Pearl Golder, a Tech Trojan, a North Division Blue Devil, a Riverside Tiger, or a Rufus King General. We all deserve to feel protected.
We've seen, especially our generation, lead the change on so many issues, and that's no exception when it comes to gun violence.
School Board President Bob Peterson says he is open to the possibility of a new agreement between the district and police.
The parents of the young black man killed by Minneapolis SWAT team on a no-knock police search are speaking out, calling their son's death an execution. Body camera video shows the deadly confrontation between Amir Locke and the SWAT team. Locke was sleeping on the couch and startled awake. A gun could be seen in his hand just before officers opened fire. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump is representing the family, comparing Locke's death to Breonna Taylor, who was killed in a 2020 police raid in Louisville, Kentucky.
No-knock warrants have deadly consequences for innocent, law-abiding black citizens.
A spokesperson for the St. Paul Police Department says he cannot comment on Amir Locke because of an ongoing homicide investigation. Activist groups are calling for the officer who killed Locke to be arrested and charged with murder. That officer now on administrative leave. In Georgia, Travis and Gregory McMichael are expected to face trial on federal hate crime charges for their roles in the 2020 killing of Ahmaud Arbery. Both McMichaels withdrew guilty pleas in that case. Trial proceedings are slated to begin on Monday. Both men were found guilty and sentenced last month to life in prison without parole.
Former Vice President Mike Pence says former President Donald Trump was wrong to say he could have overturned the 2020 election on January 6th.
And I heard this week that President Trump said I had the right to overturn the election. But President Trump is wrong. I had no right to overturn the election. The presidency belongs to the American people and the American people alone.
Pence pointed out that by the same token, Vice President Kamala Harris would have no right to overturn the 2024 election if Republicans win. Governor Tony Evers vetoes a bill that would have banned public schools from teaching critical race theory. Evers, a former state superintendent of schools, said students deserve to learn without interference from politicians. Republicans who approved the bill do not have enough votes to override the veto.
The CDC keeping a controversial Trump-era policy that expels migrants at the southern border. It's known as Title 42. The U.S. Customs and Border Protection says more than 1 million migrants have been expelled under that policy. A CDC spokesperson defends the continued use of it because of the surge in COVID cases. In 60 days, the health agency will continue to assess whether the order is still necessary. The CDC now recommending the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine for adults. It received full approval from the FDA earlier this week. More than 200 million doses of the Moderna vaccine have been administered already in the U.S. There is no difference between the approved vaccine and the one previously available through emergency use authorization.
Madison officials are honoring Rosa Parks' legacy with the 4th annual Transit Equity Day. Today would have been her 109th birthday. In 1965, she famously refused to give up her seat on a city bus to a white man in Montgomery, Alabama. Her courageous act of defiance helped spark the civil rights movement. Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway says making sure everyone has access to affordable public transportation is one of her top priorities.
As we mark Transit Equity Day here, we must acknowledge the historic discrimination and current inequities and push for a better, more equitable future.
Mayor Rhodes Conway also stressed the importance of the bus rapid transit plan to reduce transit inequity in Madison.
Badger Honor Flight planning a special trip for the women who have served our nation. The Alice Ladwig Female Veteran Flight will be an all-female veteran flight scheduled for May 14th. It'll have a custom itinerary for women veterans to see monuments, memorials, and other events specific to their time of service. It's open to any female veteran who served during World War II, the Korean War, or in Vietnam.
There's a women's memorial there that we very seldom have spent much time at. So we're going to make sure that's part of the trip, and we'll have a couple other things up our sleeve to celebrate the women.
Male guardians are allowed on the trip. You can find an application for the flight online at badgerhonorflight.org. Coming up, a major winter storm still wreaking havoc across the country.
Plus, if you're planning on getting someone flowers for Valentine's Day, you may want to start looking right now what forests are saying about this year's supply.
Watching Madison's fastest growing newscast. News 3 now at 10.
I was a Navy submariner for over 20 years. I spent a large portion of my life underwater. Service is about putting your country before yourself. But Senator Ron Johnson uses his office to serve himself. Ron Johnson passed a special tax break that benefited his family's business, then cashed out of the company for $5 million. Ron Johnson has doubled his wealth since he's been elected. That's not what service is about. Tell Ron Johnson to stop voting for tax laws that benefit himself.
You're a hard worker. Provide for your family. Do good things in the community. Help out your neighbors. You've been there for so many others. Now, we're here for you. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. Apply now for a hand up.
You and me, partner, we meet center of town, high noon. Hold on. Nope, Daisy's got last one lessons at noon. Okay, high 2 o'clock? I got a spur fitting at 2 o'clock. How's about 3? I'm getting thrown through a saloon window at 3.
We don't need any more overscheduling, but we could all use more ways to save.
I can squeeze you in between swim class and Kevin's Harper saddle at 3:30.
I was eating beans at 3:30.
Right.
Switch to Geico for more ways to save.
Tell you what about Tuesday?
Menards is the destination for your next flooring project. Enhancing the beauty of your home is easy with our great selection of durable, waterproof, and easy-to-install flooring options. Great Lakes vinyl plank flooring and Tarkett sheet vinyl hold up to everyday life and come in a variety of styles to complement any room in your home. Save big money with Great Lakes and Tarkett vinyl flooring now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Whether you have a design emergency or you just want to shop the best furniture showroom in town, you need Dwellings, Madison's best kept secret for design and furniture. Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
Hi folks, Saturday morning we'll have the weekend's top headlines and get you ready for the Frozen Assets Festival. Plus, we'll have the updated track on the next snowmaker, timing it out in your certified most accurate forecast Saturday at 5 and 8.
Most Americans have encountered some pandemic-related supply chain issue by now, whether at the grocery store or waiting longer for a package. But for products where timing is everything, the crunch feels especially intense.
Yeah, Karin Kafa looks at this year's Valentine's Day flower trade where emotions run high, and you may want to place your order now.
6
blocks with dozens of wholesale flower vendors.
Checking out and make sure everything's good.
Business in the Los Angeles Flower District really blooms in February. So much that the California Flower Mall, one of the district's large markets, will stay open round the clock from Super Bowl Sunday through the end of Valentine's Day.
It's a good feeling, you know, it's like you're buying flowers for somebody you care about. So all of that really helps, you know, despite the economics.
Owner Mark Chadoff says his 35 vendors face the same thorny economic issues as any other retailer, as growers and suppliers count down to a second pandemic-era Valentine's Day.
We are facing rising costs, logistics, transportation, which is part of logistics, shortages.
Versailles Bustos brings flowers to the Los Angeles market from local growers, but also items like roses from South America. He says disruptions to those air shipments are unlike anything he's seen in his 30 years in the flower industry.
One airline cancels, then whoever is behind it got the pressure to pick up what's behind.
And the high-demand holiday falling on a Monday this year puts on the pressure, especially for florists tasked with final delivery.
Those are 2021 problems that are continuing into 2022, but it does get more difficult at Valentine's Day.
Ken Denneberg's family has owned and operated York Flowers in Washington, D.C. for 80 years.
This is what goes on behind the scenes.
He says he'll have what he needs this Valentine's Day, thanks to lessons learned throughout the pandemic.
We've had to change design styles where we can't get certain flowers or certain supplies. We've been practical and made changes so that we didn't try to force something that didn't work out.
While florists like Denneberg believe supply will meet demand, Society of American Florists CEO Kate Penn says flexibility and creativity may enter the mix.
It's just that sometimes if you're looking for something super specific, you might not be able to get it. And the earlier you can order, the better.
Those big bouquets of red roses requiring a bigger effort at all points for the big day this year. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
A major winter storm bearing down on the East Coast as several 100,000 homes and businesses remain without power tonight. It's already done damage all across the country. Frozen and slippery roads. This is Fort Worth, Texas. It was nearly impossible for drivers there to stay on course along this off-ramp. They're not real good at that sort of thing.
No.
Roads in Boston and throughout the region became icy with sub-freezing temperatures. New York's governor urging people to avoid going outside.
The storm is throwing everything at us. We have snow, we have freezing rain, we have sleet, we have icy roads.
National Weather Service says the storm will slowly pull away from the northeast early tomorrow, a gradual end to that wintry precipitation. But vast parts of the region, along with the southern plains, Ohio Valley, they're in for more bitterly cold temperatures. So for more on that, let's go to Dan.
My goodness, this has been quite a winter system, and usually, of course, Wisconsin's seeing quite a bit of winter activity rolling through when these events build up. But this is something that completely clipped the state, stayed to the south, and impacted almost everyone south of us, stretching through Texas, through the Midwest, and now to the New England area, where it is still snowing and still, at this point, sleeting for parts of Connecticut and Massachusetts near Boston. So they still have accumulating snowfall coming down. The big problem with this system, it brought really close to freezing temperatures. So there was a lot of ice and a lot of rain coming through, and that's part of the reason it's taken so long, even for these southern towns that may not see as much snow. It's taken them even longer to get cleaned up because there is that layer of ice already built up as the snow came down. Snowfall totals in southern Wisconsin, notice we're at just a few inches of accumulation right now, about 1 to 3 inches for most of southern Wisconsin. To the south, where we saw that big bullseye a few days ago, that's melted away quite a bit. They've had some milder temperatures in the last 36 hours. Now to the northeast, the New England area right now, some areas in Vermont and New Hampshire, well over 2 feet of snowfall on the ground, and we are still seeing that light snow building in towards Maine, and also seeing that snow and sleet for parts of Massachusetts and Connecticut. So this has been a big winter system impacting so many people, but really not impacting us this week, other than the travel conditions coming in and out. A bitterly cold trend expected for tonight. Temperatures close to 0 for our overnight lows, with wind chills dropping down to the 5 to 15 below range. In general, our 10-day still pretty dry outside. We have a few more chances to see these light flurry events come through, but not enough to really add a lot of accumulation to our snowpack. Milder temperatures will build in for next week. That's going to bring us some 30-degree days for Tuesday, Wednesday, and close to 30 for Thursday. Overnight, our skies are becoming mostly clear, and when we have that clearing sky, it allows our temperatures to cool down even bit more. We'll be close to zero early Saturday morning with, again, those wind chills dropping down to about 5 to 15 below. Afternoon high temperatures will be near 20, but wind chills, because of the breeze coming through, likely landing in the mid to low teens. Notice that breeze coming from the south on Saturday. It does help warm things up a little bit, but that breeze picking up adds in more of a wind chill. Saturday night into Sunday morning, we have a small chance for a few flurries to pass through. Expecting most of the area to stay pretty dry outside, though, and high temperatures on a Sunday landing close to freezing for us in the low 30s. Tomorrow about 20, partly sunny sky, breezy and cold. Notice those wind speeds about 10 to 20 miles per hour, so that wind picking up, that's why our wind chills will be so much lower compared to our temperatures. This cold trend really settles in through much of Wisconsin as we look in that 6 to 10 day and 8 to 14 day outlook. It shifts off to the west, really pushing our temperatures likely below average as we start to get into next week and the back half of next week. Really, this trend cools us down. So for this weekend, sunshine for tomorrow, close to 20. Sunday in the low 30s. Monday a little colder in the low 20s. Tuesday and Wednesday, that's our mild day. Mid to upper 30s for afternoon highs. We're dry through that stretch. By the back half of next week, could see some light snow chances building in. Right now, it doesn't look like a major event, but a little bit of snow better than no snow, I guess. Colder temperatures behind that event, back down to the mid to low 20s, so trending below average at that point for the next weekend, with overnight lows going right back down to the single digits for us, likely trending with that into the following week.
And coming up in sports, the Badger women were back home in Levon, but it wasn't home sweet home on the ice. Southern Minnesota Duluth Bulldogs shut out UW. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection serves all of Dane County and the surrounding communities. And with our new location in Monroe, we also proudly serve all of Greene County.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection, a name you can trust when service is a must.
I'm Rebecca, and you might know me from reality TV. And this was my stubborn body fat that I just couldn't get rid of. But then I went to Sono Bello, and they permanently removed my body fat in just one visit.
It is so intensely gratifying for one visit to make this big of a change. It's amazing.
Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
It feels incredible to look down, and it's flat. Thank you again, Sono Bello. I'm so happy.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-800-595-1532 or go to sonobello.com.
Dear Winter, I'm coming. My squad of 16 vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready to take you on. Safety's the name of my game. So you better bundle up. Toyota.
Right now, you can get 2.49% APR for 60 months on Toyota's most popular 2022 models. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
One call, that's all. There is no way I could have done this on my own without Gruber Law Office.
They were phenomenal. They got our life back on track, and I couldn't be any more happier.
I would definitely go to Gruber Law Offices again.
Do what you do well, and that's exactly what Gruber Law Offices do.
I would refer the whole world to this wonderful agency.
They just put their best foot forward. One call, that's all.
Gruber Law Offices. Call the champs. If you want to win, call Gruber.
I'm a little old to count down the days, but my ski trip to Cascade Mountain with my cousin each year, so much fun. We used to pretend like we were flying. Now, we really do. My dad and my uncle like that we still ski free. But Noah and I, we just have fun. See you there.
From installation, repairs, and maintenance to complete sewer and drain cleaning, visit MononaPFP.com.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection, a name you can trust when service is a must.
4-game road trip, the Wisconsin women's hockey team got back to their winning ways and in the process moved back up into the first place standings in the WCHA. Better news, the Badgers finally back at home in Laban. Now it's UW's first home series in over a month. Wisconsin taking on Duluth. Bulldogs jumped out to an early lead. Gabby Krause sneaks it past Kennedy Blair to give Duluth a 1-0 lead in the first period. Now Wisconsin put 45 shots on net. Couldn't light the lamp tonight. Badgers fall 3-0 the final. It wasn't much better for the Badger men in Columbus. They took a 3-1 lead in the third period, ended up losing in overtime 4-3 to Ohio State. Bobby Ingram was officially introduced as Wisconsin's new offensive coordinator this morning, and as expected, only in 1 week into the job, there's a lot of new in terms of the Badger offense and the Badgers themselves. But there's one big thing that's not. His son Dean is on the team and made the switch from cornerback to receiver, which means Dad gets to be coached, and both Ingrams are excited about that.
It was just something that we had always talked about but never really thought would happen. And as it's happening, you know, you just kind of makes you want to work even harder. And, you know, as I'm sitting up here, I just get excited thinking about, you know, things we can do.
I've never coached him in terms of him being on an organized team. I've always taken my boys out and their friends. I've done football drills, footwork, catching drills, so that's always been fun. But I'm looking forward to that. As far as the scouting report, you know, we'll have to see what he has.
The Uw-Whitewater women's basketball team is having another impressive season. The Warhawks sit first in the WIAC and are ranked 8th in the country. But there's something missing in the program, and as Jordan Reed found out, it's what this team has been chasing since October.
The winning culture runs deep at Uw-Whitewater.
You know coming in that there's expectation.
An expectation and a tradition.
Playing for the people that have been here before, it's not just ourselves. Like, this program was built off of what the coaches wanted with this tradition, so it's with everything that we do.
And with 19 wins and only 2 losses, this is one of Coach Carrie Corallo's most successful teams over the last decade.
They just have this aura about them that's just this energy that's just really special.
For this group, it's the chemistry.
When people come watch us play, they're like, wow, you guys have something. I don't know what it is. So if someone could point their finger on that, then, you know, I think we could really run with it. But, you know, when I look at them, I just really think it's their positive energy and how they just really care about each other.
But of all this program's accomplishments, one thing is missing from the Warhawks' lengthy resume.
That is something that I think about every day. I want to go out with a bang.
I'm sure we could all say as little girls all we thought about is winning a national championship, being like that top spot in the country. And I think this year would definitely be the time that it would happen.
I want to help lead this team to that national championship. So if I was able to win that with each other and just make sure that we're able to do it in this great way, it would be everything I could ask for.
The final chapter of this team's storybook season. In Whitewater, Jordan Reed, News 3 Sports.
We're back after this.
Right here. It's January clearance time at A1 Furniture with 10 to 40% off store-wide and tax included on any purchase over $4.99. Huge selection in stock for immediate pickup or delivery, plus 1 year free financing.
Madison's locally owned family furniture store.
The Build, Remodel, and Landscape Show is coming, and admission is free. Shop, compare, and save big. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, only at the Monona Terrace Convention Center.
Dinosaur Adventure roars into Madison. 1 weekend only. Alliant Energy Center. With life-size dinosaurs and massive family fun. Experience the thrill of the prehistoric age, featuring the ferocious T-Rex, Triceratops, Velociraptor, and more. Go on a realistic fossil dig. Take a ride on your favorite dinosaur. Bounce around in the prehistoric playground. And a baby dinosaur meet and greet. Take an amazing dinosaur adventure. This weekend only. Alliant Energy Center. Tickets at dinosauradventure.com.
Hold on, I'm coming. You didn't tell me you were getting McDonald's.
Enjoy a sausage McMuffin or sausage biscuit with hash browns. Each bundle just $2.
At Affordable Dentures and Implants, that moment when we see a patient smile is everything to us. So whether it's a single tooth, full dentures, or dental implants, we're here to help you. Go ahead and smile.
Go ahead and smile. Go ahead and smile. Go ahead and smile.
McGann Furniture in downtown Baraboo should probably be called McGann Furniture and Flooring because we're the area's oldest and most experienced floor covering store. Our friendly staff will explain the many types of flooring available, answer questions, and make suggestions so you can choose what's best for your home and lifestyle. We always offer free in-home measurements and estimates and use the finest installers in the entire area. And remember, at McGann's, we don't inflate prices only to mark them down for a sale. Stop in today and discover the difference. You'll be glad you did. McGann Furniture, downtown Baraboo.
At Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, the switch is always on. It guarantees the highest average payout percentage in the region. This leads to better odds and more wins than any place else around. Nobody messes with the switch.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
Every day, News 3 Now investigates.
Get the best deals on name brand mattresses only at A1 Furniture's January clearance event. Save 10 to 40% off and get tax included on any purchase over $499, plus 1 year free financing.
Madison's locally owned family furniture store.
Download the Channel 3000 First Warn Weather app today. You are watching News 3 Now at 6.
Call him the leaping lawman, if you can see him. An Idaho state trooper went the extra mile or a few extra feet to keep a cat from running away last month.
So this happened after he pulled a van over on Interstate 90 and found controlled substances inside. The 2 people in the van were arrested. While the trooper was waiting for animal control, the cat made a break for it. But it wasn't fast enough for the quick-thinking trooper who caught it and returned it to the van. Look at that.
Whoa. How did he do that? You've got cats.
Oh, yeah. And cat-like reflexes.
Oh, how did they? I mean, you can't catch them like that, right?
Oh, you can. There's a way. You can. You can do it. It's possible.
My dog can do that.
Your dog would rather go for food than a cat.
Yes. So can Penny, right?
Oh gosh, yes. But Penny wouldn't run away from people. She's more of a running towards people kind of a pupper. A little cold this weekend, guys. Stay warm.
Have a great weekend.
Do something good.